It's been 3 months since a big update was released for the Android port of the Vita3K emulator. I first talked about this emulator here on the channel back in February of this year and hope to begin showing off some games with it in the near future. Version 8 of this emulator was just released for Android, and it comes with a lot of changes, new features, and improvements that can be enjoyed right now. This new update should be downloaded directly from GitHub, which I'll be linking to down in the video description below. The first major change with version 8 of Vita3K is the added support for motion controllers. Whether you're connecting a controller to the smartphone or tablet itself, or if you just want to use the gyroscope built into the Android device that you're using, Vita3K on Android now supports those motion controllers. This update also adds an option to customize the renderer accuracy. So with version 1 through 7 of Vita3K, the development team had used what is now being labeled as high accuracy. However, with this update, the default renderer accuracy option is going to be set to standard. So when comparing the default setup of version 8 to all other versions, this should reduce the amount of RAM that the emulator is using. In turn, this should help to improve the performance of PlayStation Vita games that you're emulating on Android. However, it could result in a small number of graphical glitches when playing a select number of games. Sadly, we're not given a full list of games that this change has an effect on, but if you notice something, then it's recommended that you tinker with the renderer accuracy setting when troubleshooting the issue. The update also adds the ability to create a shortcut for each game that you have on the device. These shortcuts will be added to the home screen of your Android smartphone or tablet, and it will use the game name and the icon as well. Now, with Vita3K on Android, there had been reports of some FMV cutscenes with flickering issues. However, this update hopes to fix that by making sure that Clang does not optimize function calls that it thinks are useless. There has been some improvements to the memory trapping feature of Vita3K as well, which should help to prevent some freezes from happening when it's double buffering. The memory mapping of Vita3K can now be customized for each game. And not only that, this option can be modified before starting a game too, and it does not require a reboot either. The developer team worked to rewrite the texture cache architecture of the emulator, which should help to prevent some games from becoming slower over time. And the last major change with version 8, the team wanted to point out that there has been multiple performance improvements made to the emulator. This includes using faster data structures and using less mutex locking. Since these improvements have an effect on so many different games, if you had an issue with some games in the past, it's recommended that you try them again after you have updated Vita3K to version 8. So you can see a lot of work has been put into this new update. I would be curious to know how many of you are familiar with this emulator and which games that you have noticed play the best on your device. I have yet to try playing my favorite PlayStation Vita games on Android yet, but hope to check out its performance over the next week. Let me know about which games you think I should try first down in the comments section below.